Terence Crawford recently stated that, he wants to face the winner of Canelo Alvarez, Jermell Charlo at 168 pounds. You were real critical of Earl Spence. You always been a Spence guy, but you was critical of Earl Spence when he was talking about facing Canelo at 60. What you think of that fight?
Man, why he can't try to do a catchweight or something? Like, I mean, if it's Canelo, if it's Charlo, I get it, because I think he feels like, well, if you box Spence and sparring, it's like, I'm feeling like, in my mind, I'm feeling like we around the same size. Like, you know what I'm talking about? But then when it's Canelo, I know Canelo a little bigger than Bud, man. It's like, I don't know why Bud should have to give him the whole concession like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, the Terence Crawford fan in me, like, man, that's too much. Like, me that 160 or something. You know what I'm saying? But I understand the dare to be great thing, but I think it's weight classes for a reason. And I don't think he need to be just fighting a guy like that's that big. The guy goes to 175, man. You know what I mean? That's a lot. But I mean, Henry Armstrong used to be doing shit like that, right?
Henry Armstrong went from 135 to 160. So this will actually be the biggest jump, going from 135 to 168.
Man, that's more than Pacquiao. That's more than
Pacquiao.
No,
you're right. No, though. Pacquiao is 8 divisions. But I'm talking about in the amount of, I'm going to say in the time frame. Because Crawford is literally jumping 3 divisions for one particular fight.
That's dangerous. Canelo older though. But no, that's dangerous though. I don't know.
Yeah, Pacquiao, I think he started up like 108 at 16.
Yeah.
And ended up being at 154 pounds at like 30 or...
At the end.
Yeah.
Not at the end because he went too long, but at the end though. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah, but even then, those guys, a lot of those guys, when they was 16, that's what size they was. So Salim was 16. When Salim was 15, he started off, he was 110. He just did a growth spurt. You see what I'm saying? So it went from like 110 to like, he just fought at 125. So if you look at Floyd and them at 16, they probably 110 and 106s and shit like that too. I wasn't there, but I would, that's what I would assume. More than likely 110s and all of that. So it's like the same thing, except he was already professionals. So it means these are the same size people, if you could get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Canelo is a bigger guy than Bud.
If successful, where does this put Terence Crawford all the time?
If he beat Canelo?
If he jumps from 147 to 168, beats Canelo.
Bro, you gotta. That's 3 Undisputeds.
Yeah. With a 3 division jump to do it.
That's crazy. I ain't gonna lie, man. You had to put him up in the top 5 or some shit. Like, you had to start arguing. That win alone would make it crazy. And Bud, I mean, before the Spence fight, it's been, criticisms of his resume and shit like that. And, sometimes rightfully so, sometimes people go too far. But whatever. If he go do that, that's crazy, man. Yeah, if he go do that, you had to put him up there at the top. You had to put him up there in the top of the joint. I mean, especially for the current day, for the modern day boxing.
Yeah, if you want to separate,
if you want to separate it like that, all right, yeah, cool. But you would have to like put him high up.
Because it's really hard to compare. Like, fucking Ray Robinson got 200 fights,
yeah,
or something like that. Willie Pep got like 200 something fights.
Yeah.
Ezra Charles. So it's hard to compare somebody with 200 fights, somebody with 40, 50 fights.
40 and 50s. Yeah. So, it's hard, but it's that would be 3 Undisputeds at 3 different weight classes, and he jumped up to beat Canelo, who was the face of boxing. So he would have beaten Earl Spence, who was in the top 3, the top 5, and then he would have bumped off Canelo, who you would have to consider the top, because Canelo is still the face of boxing. I would consider Terence Crawford the best fighter in boxing, but Canelo's still the face of boxing right now until like further notice.